Peace. So it's time. It's time to see your messenger. You're looking at your messenger, and by that I mean messenger of your Lord, the God, the Almighty. So if you don't like my looks, or how I talk, or my character, or how I talk down to you, then you can take that up with your Lord if you believe God actually exists. And maybe He'll change me, or maybe He'll tell you to deal with it. And that's what normally happens. God sends the messengers with different characters, different colors, different height. They look better or worse than the last one. I can't tell you how the last one looked like, and I can't tell you how the next one will look like. But he looks like me today. So, having said that, I want to read a letter to you which I've sent to 300 leaders and organizations around the world. And when you see this video, if you ever do, those letters should have been delivered or will shortly be delivered to those entities. And the letter is about information and warning. But as it stands today, as the situation on the world stands today, it is going to be more warning than information, because the destitution of faith is obvious, and under these circumstances, these kinds of warnings can only be taken as warning, not information. Those who can actually receive this information will also have trouble digesting it. And most of you are going to think I'm crazy or mad or deluded or self-righteous, or you'll tell me that I think I'm God. None of that is correct. I'm totally sane. I'm absolutely clear in my heart as to what I'm telling you and from whom that message is coming. I'm going to read this letter to you, which should be in the hands of your leaders by now, so that you know also what I have told them. With name of the God, the Almighty, the Merciful. O you, the mankind, and O you, those high and affluent, and leaders of the nations, will not you fear? Surely I to you, a messenger secure. So fear the God, and obey me. And not I ask you reward, if my reward accept over the God. Not to you from God or Lord other than the God. So serve the God, my Lord and your Lord. This a highway constant. You serve idols, and you create delusions. Those you serve from other than the God, not they control your sustenance. So seek with the God sustenance. Turn to Him. Submit to Him. Ask Him forgiveness. Thank to Him. To Him you will return. And if you falsify, know that not over me except the delivering, the clear, and surely the God over everything witnesses. So fear the God and obey me. Your wealth and your children and the life of the world are trials. Your financial system and your corporations are delusions and falsehood based on lies. Just the fact that you use interest and usury and its derivatives nullifies your system in eyes of the God. You give personhood to corporations, dead entities with no rights, and you usurp the rights of men. Your currencies and monetary instruments are untenable, except if you back them fully with gold or silver or both, and with no interest or leverage. The God orders us not to tinker or tamper with the origination of the man, which you call genome or DNA, and you have been doing exactly that. This will bring no good to anyone. Stop this foolishness and let the natural course be. We will all die. There is no escape from death. Delaying it will not prevent it. So fear the God and obey me. And this progress that you glorify, that you are the most advanced generation, technologically and scientifically, a falsehood and clearly disproven by looking at the remnants of the generations before us. Our ancestors, at least to the generation of Noah, lived up to 1,000 years. Longest lived today barely make it to 1/10. Your claims that you have left the earth and the heaven are lies. We cannot leave the earth and the heaven. We are surrounded on all sides and above by a barrier we cannot pass. We will all live in the earth and die in her, and from her we will be taken out another time for judgment and hell or garden after that. You lie about what is not obvious. Why do you lie about what is obvious? The earth, she is level and stationary. No man, male or female, can be forced to believe or do what they do not want. No one can be persecuted or prosecuted for what they say in this life of the world. This, the life of the world, is frivolity and play, sustenance of the deception. Will but not you see the deception? O you, the Jews, the Messiah you wait for has already come once. Your ancestors tried to kill him, but not they killed him, and not they crucified him. The God took him away and raised him to himself. O you, the Christians, say the truth over the God. Surely what the Messiah Jesus, Son of Mary, messenger of the God, his word, a prophet and a pure man. Messiah Jesus is no son of the God, and not the God, a monstrous falsehood invented by your forefathers, and the invented Trinity does not exist either. Turn back to the one God, my Lord and your Lord. O you, those who hold the Quran, you have destroyed the essence of the book of the God by following your thoughts and desires instead of the clear and the obvious truth written in it. If you hold true to the Quran, then all your governments and constitutions and laws are invalid. Only the Quran can be the government and the constitution and the law, and nothing can supersede the judgment in it. Muhammad, messenger of the God and a prophet, is not the last messenger or prophet, but sure seal of the prophets, as he came with the seal of all prophecy, the Quran. Do not let the life of the world deceive you. The hereafter is the real life. To all the Satans, from the demons and the men, you know who you are, and you know you have no authority over me. And if you use your power against me, wait and see what the God does to you after that. And to the rest of you, you need to know that you have no authority over me either. And if you plot and plan and use your power against me, any chance you have of salvation in the hereafter will be lost. You can believe me and submit to the God, listen and obey, and be informed with forgiveness and reward great from the God. You can do nothing, and you will continue on the path you are on, and nothing will change for you. Or, what is most likely, you can reject me and falsify me, like all generations before you. And if you then plot and scheme and plan against me, and you exile me, or harm me, or hurt me, or even kill me, then know that not will you tarry here after me except a little. So, now that I have done my solemn duty to the God by giving you clear information and warning, you can do what you want. The command of the God approaches for this generation, like it has for every people and generation before us. A day arrives, no one will be able to then choose to turn and believe and do righteousness. Method of the God which has passed in generations before us. Not will you find to his method change, and will lose right there the rejectors. So do over your places, surely I will do, and wait, surely I with you, waiting. Peace. Signed, Asad Ahmad Sirohi. This 30th day of May, 2021, of the years you count. Now that I've delivered this letter of information and warning to all of you, and you can do with it what you want, I'm not here to force you to believe or reject or to accept me or reject me as a messenger of God. That's your decision. That's the free will, yeah? You have the free will to reject the truth or reject the lies, or accept the truth or accept the lies. The problem is mankind mostly accepts the lies because they suit their desires and what they think needs to be done or what is right. So that's all up to you. So what I'm going to explain now is a couple of aspects. First, the basic creation we're in and where we're headed from here, and what is going to happen next, most likely the next major event that is going to happen. So we're under a heaven above us, which you can see the stars in, the sun and the moon and the constellations, and that is the first heaven. There are 6 other heavens above that, and above the 7 heavens together is the throne of the God that most of you think does not exist, and his throne is above the fluid. So there is fluid above the heaven as well, and below them are 7 planes. We're in the lowest plane of existence, which is called this earth, and there are other earths under the other 6 heavens. The hereafter, after our resurrection, after the death here, will be there for those who pass, and the most that will fail, most of us, they're going to fail, are going to reside under this earth, which is commonly referred to as hell. Yes, you are on top of hell. the hell is under your feet. You walk over the hellfire. And you can see her remnants. They pop out here and there, these little volcanoes that you run away from. When they spew out the littlest lava, you run all directions, and all of it underneath is lava and the hellfire. So that is the creation here. And God created 3 major entities that I know of, and the other birds and things and creatures and all that stuff that is around us. But these 3 clear entities are the angels, the demons, and the men. And there is a spirit as well, the Holy Spirit. I'm not going to talk about that right now. So the angels are the ones who control everything under the heavens and the earths with the command of God, explicit. They have absolute power to do what they have been told by God, and nothing can stop them. Then there are the demons, who are fire beings, created from fire and before man. And then there's us, the men, the mankind. And from us there are males and females, obviously. So with this creation that we're in is the second creation. We were created before this, and we weren't in like wombs and coming out of our mother's stomachs there. Yeah? We were all created and shaped and designed, and we were given life. And that's where the story occurred, where Adam failed the trial of God and submitted to the wiles of Satan. And Satan became Satan when God ordered him a command, and he rejected it, which is in the book. You can read it. It's in the Torah, in the Injil, and the Quran. He rejected the command of God, and he was an angel, a demon angel, and he rejected that command, and he fell into the hellfire out of the garden. And he is our arch enemy, the Satan. He is a demon, a shapeshifter. So the demons are shapeshifters. So you would not be able to tell who is a demon or not except the demon himself. Yeah? And some of us can, but most of us can't. I mean, you're a man if you can't shapeshift. That's obvious. But if you're a demon, you can shapeshift. But you may not want to tell the other guys that you're a demon. And on the earth right now, most of your leaders are probably satanic demons and satanic men, or Satans themselves. Because there are more Satans than just the one. His army, the closest to him, are all Satans as well. Whereas on the other side, there's only God, one God, and the rest of us who are his servants. And yes, the Satans are also his servants, just the disobedient servants. And we, on the other side, are the obedient servants. The rest of you in the middle have no clue what's going on. And you're falling for their calling, because they're calling you to the life of this world, which entices you, and you fall for it. Whereas it's just a trial. It's a deception. It will end. These bodies cannot last forever. They're not created to last forever. And that this in itself should tell you that this is a joke. I mean, it's a hoax, this life that we're in. It's not serious. I mean, if it were serious, it would have a chance of surviving. You would have a chance to survive. The battle is for your soul. You give up your soul, and the entity you give it up to will determine where you're going. So if you give it up to Satan, he's going to take you to hell. You give it up to God, he's going to take you to the garden in the hereafter. So that is the story. The story is the fight for your soul. And each soul needs to fight for herself. I can't fight for you, your soul, and you can't fight for my soul. We can help each other, but we cannot save each other from the hellfire. You have to save yourself, and then when you want actually to save yourself, God will help you if he sees you worthy enough, like me. So I've already sold my soul to God, and he bought it. So, I'm pretty happy with that. I don't know how many of you have thought about selling your souls to the God, the unseen God. Yeah, you can't see him in this creation. So that's where we are in this creation. It's your soul, not this body. This body will perish. Nothing can prevent that happening, no matter how much you invent technologies and your medicine and everything else that you can think of. These bodies are eventually going to perish, and that's the reality. So where are we in this creation now, this second creation, the second chance? that we are failing miserably as we did the first. So where are we? We are at the point where the second promise that God made to the sons of Israel is about to appear. And what is that promise? It is that they will be high in the earth, and they will war in the earth, and they will be destroyed. Two promises of that. The first one occurred after the sons of Israel, which include Joseph, who are the sons of Jacob, who is the grandson of Abraham. When they ruled the earth, eventually they went astray, as we all do. And they warred, and they were high, and they were destroyed. And the pharaohs took over, till Moses came and rescued them with the will of God. And that story is clear in the Torah, in the Injil, and in the Quran. Very clear. It is the most elaborate story told in the Quran, the story of Moses and Pharaoh. And if you think I'm lying, you can go check the Quran. You'll find that to be the absolute truth. So the second promise, when it would come, God would bring them together, the sons of Israel, and they would be high in war again, and they would be destroyed. So what has happened in the last 100 years? The sons of Israel, which are not just the Jews, that is a misconception. The Jews are sons of Israel, but the Christians are also sons of Israel. And they've all come together, they've banded together the last 100 odd years, and they've been warring, and they're high in the earth. And they've come together, they've regained the land, the Holy Land, Jerusalem and what's around it. And now the second promise is approaching. When that arrives, their hegemony will be destroyed. The nations will fall. And then, at that time, around that time, the Messiah will return again. Jesus, He is the Messiah. There's no other Messiah. All these people who invent Messiahs are just deluded like the rest were before them. And when that happens, around that time, there will be a punishment. When the smoke will come from the heaven and cover all of mankind. These are the events that are going to occur in the near future. I don't know. I may not be here to see it. And I don't know whether Jesus will be here before or after that punishment comes. But a messenger will be here when that punishment arrives, warning you about that punishment, like I am. I just don't know whether I'm going to be that messenger or there's going to be another one after me. I just know the destruction of the sons of Israel, the Western nations as a whole, is coming soon. And some of the signs are already in front of us. So that's where we are in this creation. And when all this stuff happens, which is not the end times, after that, the end times that these Christians are harping about for the last, 50 years or 1,000 years. I mean, the end times began when we arrived here, when Adam was put on this earth with his spouse, and this whole game started, which is coming to its fruition now. So that's all I got to say, and you do with that information whatever you wish. Peace.